Greetings, my fellow nerds. I just watched Loki episode 2, so let's talk about it. All right, so I'm not going to get into a plot breakdown or anything here because if you're watching this video, you've more than likely seen the episode. And if you haven't watched the episode yet, go ahead and watch it before watching this video because we will be discussing different things that I kind of enjoyed in this episode. And so there'll be, some spoilers on this. So let's continue. All right, so kind of moving my way through this episode, I think this episode was really interesting to me. And I think it's really cool that it's expanding on it in a way that, truthfully, it's almost like a mystery. We really don't know what's going on. And so I'm very interested to see how all this plays out. But some things that happened on this episode that I really enjoyed, the return of Miss Minutes is kind of Loki's training guide, and she can be quite sassy, and it's really funny. And I'm sorry, am I the only one that wants some sort of animated Miss Minutes show to happen? Because I think that would be really cool. One thing that I've seen some people complain about, and I wanted to address a little bit, is how much exposition is going on in this episode. And yes, I will 100% agree. There's a lot of exposition going on. But quite honestly, I think that there's really no other way to do it without really spending a lot of time setting stuff up. And I know Marvel loves to set a lot of things up, and that's really what that universe is great at. But I think it would almost be too much for anybody really to endure. So I think exposition is really the only way to make sense of it, and it doesn't bother me. Plus, it also helps that most of the exposition is occurring between Loki and Mobius, which then goes to my next point. Loki and Mobius are fantastic together. Owen Wilson and Tom Hiddleston, their chemistry together is just perfect. And I mean, they play that odd couple kind of thing going back and forth. It works absolutely spectacularly. It carries really the whole show, and as it should. And I just really love where they're going with that, and really just want to see more of this duo doing whatever they do. So, even after this season, or this 6-episode event, whatever you want to call it, I would really love to see more of this and more of those two characters together going forward. Guys, I think that the funniest thing and probably the most iconic thing and the meme-tastic thing that's going to come out of this episode is this. Loki explaining his theory to Mobius and using the salad with the salt and pepper and just constantly going back and forth. I think Michelle, when we watched it together, she said it reminded her of, Will Ferrell on The Office when he was doing the juggling without the balls. So I just thought it was really funny, and it just kept going. It felt like it just kept going, and he just kept doing this, and it just kept getting more awkward and more funny. And so I thought that was a stroke of genius. It was absolutely hysterical. I mean, once again, Loki is in 90% of this episode, but Loki at Pompeii is just absolutely hysterical too, like where he just doesn't care, and he just does all of this crazy stuff before the volcano erupts, because he knows it doesn't matter. He's completely bought into his theory. It makes for absolutely a hysterical scene of events. And, you see people just like looking at him like, what are you doing? And he's just in there like, I'm from the future and blah, blah, blah. And he's trying to explain all this stuff to him because he knows it won't matter. It doesn't matter. So it was a really great scene. And just seeing him when the volcano goes off and he's just like all proud of himself because there's like no variant energy detected. He's just like, see? And he's just all impressed with himself. Great scene. All right. So the last thing I want to talk about, and again, I don't believe in doing these really long drawn out kind of reviews or discussions on this, but I really thought that the introduction of, I'm going to do this in air quotes, Lady Loki I think that was very interesting. And I remember telling Michelle, especially, we were kind of discussing between episode 1 and episode 2. It's like, yeah, they say that they're tracking a Loki, but why not just show Loki then? Why keep Loki in, darkness and, shrouded and all that? There's got to be something else to that. There's got to be something like behind the scenes that it's not really Loki. Well, it turns out I was half right, because apparently, and I'll go into the apparently part here later, but apparently, it is Lady Loki. And of course, me being me, I know quite a bit more about DC Comics than I do Marvel. So of course I had to Google, like, okay, who is this? Of course, you know, I'm not going to go ahead and pretend like I'm an expert, right? But you know, that is a very interesting, of course, another variant. You know, how does that all play going forward? But then of course you read other stuff online and they think, well, maybe it's not explicitly Loki. You know, apparently there was another character that Loki liked to like mess with, and I don't know. I don't know how that's all going to play out. I think that still hasn't been completely set in stone yet. So I'm very interested to see where that goes. I think that this show has done a wonderful job so far of really kind of building and building and building on the tension, and we're just going to see where it goes. So, I mean, to me, so far, I see it like the other, well, at least WandaVision. I still haven't watched Falcon Winter Soldier yet because apparently I'm a moron, but that's okay. We're going to get to it. I swear we're going to get to it. But I also know from what I know about Falcon and Winter Soldier, I've been spoiled on pretty much all of it, that, you know, Marvel in these limited series, it's just a stroke of genius. And it just kind of goes into my theory with, like, you know, the Snyder Cut of Justice League and different things, that longer form storytelling with these type of stories is really the way to go. So I'm very glad that they're doing this. And I think so far Loki's been spectacular. Tom Hiddleston, once again, he's just phenomenal. Love it to death. I can't wait for the next episode. So let's see what happens. So I would love to hear your thoughts on episode 2 of Loki. Please let me know in the comments, as well as if you like what we're doing here at D's Nerds, please subscribe to the channel and ring the bell icon so you know when I have new videos coming out. We're also on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. I haven't been posting very much there lately because, you know, we've been actually, you know, going outside and living an actual life that's not, you know, crammed inside because of COVID. So that's been spectacular. But most of the time we're posting something, so please follow us there and we greatly appreciate it. We also have merch at our store, so if you want to go down to the description right there, it'll have a link to our store. Please, anything you buy there would just support the channel. We greatly appreciate it. So guys, until next time, I am Chris. We are D's Nerds. You guys have a great, safe rest of the day. Bye.